Good morning, This is Pigsy doing a video. Got a bit of shine on the glasses. There we go, look at my eyes. There you relax into them. Well, not bad. People say my eyes not too bad. I've got to look after them though. They got a bit veiny when I was doing this solar stuff. I was looking at the sun and doing sun gazing. But now I just sort of leave my eyes alone. So I guess today is a bit of MGTOW. See, my hair's a lot longer. I just let it grow because it's natural, and that's what you were trying to sell yourself, a natural version of yourself, or a better version of yourself. Because MGTOW, you want to be taking care of all the things maybe you missed out in life, readapting yourself, trying to make yourself more complete, being a better version of yourself. You don't have to necessarily avoid relationships, but you don't want to get involved in any toxic relationship. If you had anything that didn't work out, then you've got to rethink that. And I need to do a bit of, I've got a trimmer. So that was the other thing, a facial hair, get that right. Because it's a bit, it's nice changing your appearance, but you'll probably want to try to promote the best sort of appearance you can. And there's more products than there was when I was younger, like beard oils and things, so you can soften it down. There's more opportunities on the internet as well, different ways to date and communicate with people. So I've got, for me, I've got two female pen pals. One of them is on some sort of hangout and she sent me messages. The only issue, because she's in a different country, I said, I'd be free in the afternoon. And it was about 6:45 in the morning. It went beep, beep. Oh, it's what the bloody alarm. And it was really loud. And because I didn't put it onto airplane mode, so that's always good. Put your phone onto airplane mode at night. Yeah, extremely loud experience. I'm like, oh. And then I looked at it and it sort of said, oh, you're right, hi, yeah. And I was thinking, didn't I tell you it was the afternoon? And I thought to myself, well, maybe the time zone's out and she's just, a bit confused. But the other thing about the internet is that different countries is that you might chat to someone a lot younger than yourself. So I've got a whole mixture from people that are 30 and I'm 43, so it's a good age. I've got a woman that's 25, who's like a pen pal. And I got a woman who's 20, who's a friend as well, which is she just sent me a message now, which is nice because it's no problem there. It just gives you an option. How was your work yesterday? Okay, I'll answer that one in a bit. But it's nice, and it's also nice you can have relationships with women that are just friends and sort of because they're distant over the internet. It's not too bad. It's complicated if you're in person with them. Because the thing is, men, we have a kind of a slight autistic mindset. So if someone starts, it's okay to have a bit of innuendo and banter, but you have to establish is that just the friendship type element of the relationship. Because what happened is that you'll develop feelings for them that you have no control over, and then you'll be in this funny situation like, what on earth am I doing? And then you're just going to have to, what you do is you cool it down so you get some distance. And if you have to be honest, you say, well, I'm starting to develop feelings for you and I don't want them to ruin our friendship. And so I need to get some distance. And then I think she'll respect that because she doesn't want you sort of acting like creepy around her and stuff. If that's what you want, because it might be just not quite right. You maybe your relationship goals are not quite right. Women are very good at, like I say, emotional intelligence and relationship and the social elements of intelligence as well, and also that thinking differently and what they might find as attractive, like a man taking responsibility, they might find very attractive, and you think you're just doing my job sort of thing, because you're telling them basically that you're a solid person. That's what they think. They see certain qualities. I think the other problem with online relationships is that there's a certain amount of financial investment there. So you've got to look at, you're going to make a loss. So, because it'd be nice just to meet someone on the internet and it's free and everything looks out and then they got loads and loads of money. It's unlikely, especially if they live in a different country. As soon as they start looking at traveling over to you, they're going to realise that's quite an expensive trip. Now, you can travel to them. If you suggest that and they're very against it, or they cut the communication, then it was always a scam. There's loads of scams out there. But if you're financially in a situation where you've got extra money, then extra resources, then it doesn't feel like a loss if you went and done something, like try to win it over met them or helped them out in some way, just as long as there's an end goal to it. I mean, I did see this thing, a chap online, he had built up this relationship with this woman, and she was just using him constantly. You know, he'd phone her up and they'd have a chat, and he'd just say, "Oh, well, I'm not getting enough money. I need you to send me more money each month." And I'm thinking, well, you're not even married. So you've got to have rules there, and I respect that. And then you've got to really look deep into the communication. Is there love there? Is it real? You know, and stuff like that. And also adaptability to loss. If you're always worried about rejection, online can improve that, because you need to then start skilling up. How do I deal with this? You know, somebody writes some nice letters and suddenly they turn out to be fake, and you can end it better as well. You don't want to be writing sort of nasty, "Oh, yeah, you're always after my money" and stuff, because you look at yourself and you think, you know, you're kind of overreacting. If they wanted to scam you or abuse you because you're reacting in this kind of negative manner. But when you realise that it's just like water off a duck's back, and it's kind of like, okay, fair enough, and you go off, you know, just to be quiet for a while, and you go off with somebody else. I mean, there was somebody I put in their email address, and it turned out they were a scammer. And every day they're writing me letters. "Oh, I'm just waiting for your reply." And I said, "Look," I said you're a scammer, and it's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to get scammed. And they hopefully shut up and stop sending me emails, because I had about 5 or 6 emails from them, because they simply put I put their email address into Googled them, and these cut and paste replies that they've already sent me in messages were on the internet. So I was thinking, well, that confirms everything there. However, it might not confirm some of them, and is an issue you got to ask yourself, is that if you're a bit too paranoid and protective, you know, it's probably not worth it. But if somebody's writing, at the moment I've got people writing for me every day, so it's not a problem, and I'm enjoying the communications. There's no issue there. If I want to take things more seriously, I've got to look at, you know, is it something I want to do, and is it worth investing in that? But you won't get anywhere in life unless you're willing to invest something. But you do what you don't invest. What you can invest is what you can afford to invest, like extra money here or whatever your plan. Like if you plan a holiday, it's on your back, and if you've already got the money in the bank, no problem. But if you start borrowing money, or you start doing things that put you in risk, then you're not thinking straight. It's not helpful for you. And you know, this is sort of basic MGTOW stuff. And the other thing is that if you are dating somebody over the internet or abroad or something, unless somebody is as well, they will not understand it at all. You'll get so much negative feedback from people with their bloody opinions. And you know, basically the thing to realise is what you're looking for, you can't find in this country, or you can't find locally, and you're willing to go further afield to get it. You know, it's a bit like when somebody wants to go abroad. They want to travel and explore. Nobody goes up to them and say, "You shouldn't be really doing that. You're better off saving your money and going to Bournemouth, or going to your local coast, or just having a holiday in your own country." Some people will, because they don't want to spend money. They're scared of travel. But it's all their fears. But they seem to think that they have some authority over your own beliefs. And it's risky. So as an adult, you have to sometimes keep things to yourself a little bit. I mean, I'm just enjoying the communication at the moment, and then figure out from there, really. I'm in a better position where I can bank some money now. I've got past the child support stuff, because that was just such a drag. I mean, I've spent 15 years. So the last... Was it? Well, yeah, it's probably over 5. It's about 7 or 8 years, because my ex went to the agency to set something up, and she didn't want me to have any contact with the children, which was pretty shit. I mean, even if she doesn't agree with me, or she finds she doesn't like me, I think destroying a relationship, you know. I mean, I understand if she had some kind of concerns, but if there's no problem there, I raised it basically from the kids from a young age. They were staying over my place until they were teenagers. And then suddenly she felt, well, they want to go and hang out with their mates, so they don't really need to see their dad so much. Maybe they shouldn't need to see their dad at all. And so these silly little games, because I think she knew that if they're there every weekend, I'm not going to be searching for a partner, because I'm there with my children all the time. I'm too busy to do that. I'd imagine if I did start dating someone a lot earlier, that she would have just pulled the children away from it. So it is kind of mind games. But the thing is, you don't get upset about it. Just move on with your life. As long as your kids are doing all right. I mean, if they were in a position whereby they're mentally not well from the relationship with their mother, or they're suffering, or they're starting to go downhill, their lifestyle, then you need to step in. And I mean, the last thing you see kids getting into sort of drugs and crime and all sorts of things like that. Sometimes you can't stop it. I mean, I've got someone I know who's well, her son got caught up in a lot of stuff, and it's been a hard deal for her. And I don't know why he went off the rails, but she's realised at a point that she just has to let him go because he's an adult now. If he's going to be a stupid idiot when you're 20, he's just got. You can give him advice and say, look, this is, if my life was like this, you got to find something you're good at and do it, until you get into a better position in life. It could be like a trade skill. It could be that you join the army. It could be whatever straightens you out and gets you somewhere where you can be proud of yourself. That's it, rather than getting caught up in blooming fights and other things that have resulted in someone getting stabbed. That sort of nutty stuff is, and especially if you're kind of from a family where it shouldn't be that bad, but somehow it's happened that way. But at least I haven't got any aggro with that. My kids are quite level-headed. They're quite intelligent. They know what they want in life. They're capable of reaching their own goals. So I can just let them get on with it, and then I can focus on the next stage of my life. So I've just spent time doing not a lot. And I guess the other thing with women abroad, like if they're Slavic women or women that do a lot to take care of themselves, you're going to have to adjust to do that as well. I mean, I've seen some things. I mean, I'm not exactly like the ultimate fit, attractive man, but for a 43-year-old, I'm not that bad looking. I'm still fairly healthy. I mean, someone looks at that and think, oh, I've got no grey hair. I mean, yeah, I've got some hair receding in some places, but I'm trying to use products to improve that. I want to improve the appearance. I'm trying to eat healthy. I do fasting. I do research in different things. I do my yoga meditations, so I'm quite tolerant, quite relaxed, quite easygoing. And I just need to work a bit on my body as well, because I do a lot of care work. I find I get these certain injuries at a certain point. And the same if you're into some sort of, if you worked in a factory or certain types of work, there's certain exercise you want to avoid. But if you're in the office all day, maybe going down the gym and doing jogging or whatever works for you, that's fine. But if you go jogging and you're overweight and it damages your knees or it's not quite right exercise for you, then maybe you need to look at something else. So for me, it's more like yoga. I was thinking about rotating the hips to loosen the spine, because I'm thinking of certain natural exercises probably do a large range of the body. And you want to keep your back fairly limber and you want to be fairly healthy. It'd be difficult if you meet a partner that's younger and you're acting like an old man, like, oh, my back and stuff like that. Because you want to be sort of able to have a kind of, have a normal relationship with this person. I'm trying to think what else is important. And I think very much that women are focused towards the quality of life. Well, maybe men might be after the quality of life, so they're chasing women because their appearance or they're attractive and stuff. But for a woman, there might be something else they're looking for there. Like I say, the quality of life they will have with you. Will they be happy? Is it a place they can raise their children? Do you have qualities that would help to make a good father? These things are that you might be not thinking about. You might be thinking, well, basically, you look at biology. You look at them. I mean, if they look very feminine, you think to yourself, possibly you could have a big family. This particular woman, she's got good sort of balanced traits with her. She's very motherly. So we're kind of looking different things. Like, could you have a child with this woman? And how do you feel about being with her? Do you get along? Is she a good sort of companion? So men's brains are a bit more different, but these things it's just biology, basically. We're just different like that. And also you want time. I think you want time in a relationship to develop it. That's why you would probably men will date people younger, because the fertility and also the opportunities for you more likely to have more healthy children, and there's time to develop the relationship before he has to get that serious. Otherwise, if you date someone who's basically coming to the end of their productive cycle, they can be very keen to have children, and then it'd be like rushing it through. But it wasn't you that put it on hold. It just wasn't in her life at the time she started to think about children. And so that's not always a good situation, because then you haven't built up this relationship that you wanted. You become like a cog in a machine, that you're a provider, I'm the mother, these are the offspring, we have to have children in order to contribute to the community or whatever goes on in the background. But you're not thinking, are you enjoying life? Is this what you want? You know, and just sort of meeting these dreams and different aspirations. But there's some interesting things. I mean, like I say, because I've been chatting to a few different Slavic women, different opinions, some very old-fashioned views. I asked about computer games to one of them. She said, well, I don't really like computer games. I mean, it says that boys like games and girls like beauty. And then she was saying that the women sort of concentrate on being, you know, their appearance and looking good and stuff. Because I guess that has I guess it demonstrates a completeness in that person, that they are at their maximum attractiveness. That's what they're looking for. I mean, with guys, they want to demonstrate they've got lots of resources. They're resourceful and adaptable as well. And there's other areas where we're going to be crap that if you build on them, it helps. Because, you know, if you're not necessarily a social type person, developing good social skills helps. Or overcoming their weaknesses. Maybe they're a bit too polite, maybe they're too shy, and you're able to get what they want. You're able to create situations that they can flourish from. So it's kind of that big whole scope of things, really. So yeah, I mean, as I'm kind of building up my options, so that's what I'm pretty much doing, and also improving clothes. I got some, because it's like a work top on, but I got some nice shirts I'm looking at, and I got larger sizes. I got size that just fit me before. The problem is when you wash it, it shrinks. So there's other domestic stuff I've got to do. That you can get these like heated, you can get these heated air type things. And so I might do that, because then it doesn't, when it's in tumble dry, it gets scrunched up and it shrinks. But if you have something that's stretched out a bit and it's warm, and it just dries it out. Because it's just a pain when you get clothes and they just didn't fit any as well as they should do. It's irritating, to be honest. I've still got to keep fasting and doing stuff like that and working on my health. It seems to be a challenge, a little bit. I have a sweet tooth, but the main thing is I'm putting that towards the earlier part of the day, and in the evening I'm avoiding it. Like today, rather than having something sweet, I had something savoury. I ate a lot of Swedish meatballs for my breakfast, and I had this lovely coffee. I thought it was better than having one of them energy drinks, because I've just got these kind of weaknesses, like a ton of fetish for, not exactly a sexual one, but there's kind of this need, like, oh, I like that, oh, I need that, you know. That's kind of this wild thing. And I think the other thing as well, when you're writing to people and you like them and you start developing interest or feelings, there's chemicals going on in the background. You find yourself needing less sleep. You find yourself could be more active. So it's quite good at redeveloping yourself using that. I mean, I got some chin-up bars and I was swinging from them different ways. Different exercise, because some of them at different heights. So one's right above my head and so on. So you could just lift. You could just do a small lift off the ground. You don't have to go mad. I mean, I was doing things like hanging from it. I did like 30 seconds, or, you know, I wouldn't mind pushing it to a minute or something. I've got to make sure I wear gloves, because what happens is it really catches along these points here, and then you'll end up with like calluses on your hand. But I'm doing that because I'm, you know, if I weigh over 100 kilograms and I can hang for a small period of time, that's a lot of energy to use, expel in a different way in my body. And it's also a reconditioning, that your body's happy to be in these different sort of positions, mobilises strength different, and also it stretches out the spine. I don't want to compress it, because my work tends to cause a lot of stress at the lower back. And I mean, there's some other issues like joints I have to work with, but I think stretching them in yoga might be better for that. And I think other thing, MGTOW, like get yourself some decent smellies, you know, different things. The different things I put in my bath and all my hair. Got these different moisturiser stuff I put in my hair. So because it does go curly, but when you put loads of moisturiser, it straightens out, and so it acts differently. It looks a bit kind of wet at the moment because it looked a bit greasy, so I had a wash and just used these different products. And also shea butter. I mean, things that you can put on your head, also you can put on your beard. You can soften it up, leave it on for a while, wash it off, and that'd be fine. So I've got to get more of a finer trim. I've got a better trimmer coming, so I can give it a nice, because I think it's good to keep what nature gave you, and it slims the face down a little bit if it's a bit of shade under the thing, because this is quite it's a difficult area to work with, to be honest. gullet. I've got a gullet on my thing. And look, you could do sort of some vacuum exercise. But imagine you're doing like 100 of them a day. I did do a load of jaw exercise in the past, and I got a cramp, and it was so pain. It was here actually. I just shove it right in a pressure point under my jaw, because I was thinking, flipping heck, it's hurting like buggery, because this weird cramp come right round underneath, behind the back. It's like lockjaw, and so I had to release that tension. I thought, well, that's a pain, because I wanted to strengthen the jaw up. I mean, it's good for fighting and stuff. Not that I go around fighting, but if you have a stronger jaw, you can take it as well, or neck. Oh, my headache. But yeah, it's a bit like I've strengthened my skull up a bit as well. I've got these iron pellet type bags. So the other thing about MGTOW is the all over thing. But the thing is with these bags like Wing Chun, they hit them. It's not to hit them as hard as you can. It's to hit them enough, and so you feel the tension or the force of it, and you're conditioning the body around that. So that, like I say, harder skull, jaw. That it's a bit like I did that. You don't have to go mad and hit yourself hard in the jaw. I mean, they do these systema. They look at the sort of as you respond to it, and you feel there's a weakness in there, and you might not want that. You might actually just want to turn sideways to let it follow through and away from your face. So these different thoughts there. Anyway, anything else I can wonderfully share with you? I need to sort my teeth out as well. I've got a toothache. It's literally, I actually got some food in it. Nice. It's falling apart at the back. I'm gonna have to. Now I've got more money. So whatever my products are, I'll probably get them sorted. I don't have to use gold. There's no implant the gold one in there, if that's worth it or not. Anyways, Pixie sign off. Have a great one, and speak to you soon. Bye.